open and open and open and open and open. Hi. So this weekend I also went on a bit of a forest walk, which was super nice. It was like the weather was so good and I really enjoyed it. All the leaves, all the colors, which was really good, and it was like really got me into the like autumn spheres. Like I think I was kind of there, but like maybe also like took me a while longer than normal to get into it. Usually half September I'm already like full game to go into the autumn mood. I also kind of like made a short list of like books that I wanted to read still. I mean, do I have enough time to read all the books that I've bought? No. But you know, no, they're gonna just mostly be novels and books that are more of dark themes or just like fit the vibes of the seasons ahead of us that we're in. Anyways, let me show you my little autumn walk. Okay, so I've arrived and it's super busy, like there are tons of cars, but we're just gonna go for the walk. It's supposed to be 5 hours, so I'm gonna start like as soon as possible, right after. But it does look really nice, and a lot of the trees are already kind of like nicely autumn colored, so that's good. So yeah, let's hope for a good walk. I mean, it's clear blue skies, so understandably it's very busy, and also that means we don't have to worry too much about rain, so that's good.
All days, brown eyes, roots in my apartment. And we grew, passed by, plans were always falling. I know you need out sometimes, head on the glass by traffic lights. Thoughts never felt so blind, so we take off in amazing dive. Driving circles, growing sick of the weather. Heather gray.
Alright, so I've arrived back home. It was a great walk, really good weather, which was amazing, no rain, but now we're gonna go to the part where we're gonna talk about some books. And I was kind of thinking like, what do we want to talk about? Then I realized this week I've made kind of a list of books that I really like, I definitely do want to read this year, because the years like we're at the tail end and everyone needs to come to the realization, at least I do, where it's like I only have so few weeks left and so little time to read every book that I want to read. And you also know, like, get into the vibe of the seasons, although we're halfway like in October, so like autumn is in full swing. We still have like part of winter to go through, so I'm just gonna like share my list with you. So the one that I'm currently reading is Everyone in His Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. This is about the Gilda. She's 20 something, I think she's 27, 28, beginning 27, she comes 28. She has depression and kind of has a lot of mental health issues. She's lesbian, she's atheist, but as it happens, she ends up working as a receptionist at a Catholic church. So you kind of follow her life through her job, where she pretends to be Catholic, and go through life, and at the same time her relationships, her dealing with her mental health and with her family and everything. I'm almost finished. Just far I do kind of like it. I find it very interesting. Do have to get used to the writing style, because a lot of Alinia's kind of skip between present day, past, and it's not very clear all the time. I really have to get used to that, but if you kind of go through that, it's actually very interesting. And yeah, I hope it's actually as good as that I find it now, and that the ending is fulfilling. Then I thought, what can I do? And I realized something. I was like collecting books on my TBR. I realized, I was like, oh yeah, I have like Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. I want to read that. And it's like, oh, I also have like this book from Wuthering Heights. I still have to read that one. And then I was like, wait, that's written by the other Brontë sister, Emily Brontë. So I do want to read both of them, just because they're sisters. There's also like a third one, which I did look up. She also has a book, so maybe I'll do like I'll read one book of all three of them, and just kind of see the differences of how they write, what are similarities, because I think it's really interesting to have three sisters who grew up in the same household, same family. I think everyone with siblings will know that it does not matter how you grow up, like if you have the same environment, you can, like, you're still very different people, and how you experience your childhood can be vastly different. So interesting to see how that resonates itself in these books, and also because I find them really interesting books, and I've wanted to read more classic literature by women. So these two. Then I have this beauty of a book that has been around everywhere, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I got it 3 weeks ago. I still want to read it. It's a hardback though, so it's like not easy to travel with. It's a pretty hardback, but I really want to read it. And this book is about two people who start a relationship, and kind of how that culminates in what effect that has on the people around them and on themselves, and how the relationship progresses and what happens and how decisions are made. So then I also have a few books on my e-reader that I am reading, and one of them is Woman Eating by Kohda. To be fair, the only thing I know is that the main character, she's a vampire, she's very hungry, and she has to deal with it. That's all I know. But I just thought the title was really cool. I thought the synopsis was really cool, because generally when we're talking about vampires, it's usually always men. So I think it's really interesting to have a very different, slightly different take on it. And the cover art was like a Renaissance type painting. I was like, yeah, this could be like, it looks like this is totally up my alley. So I definitely want to read that one. And also it fits the vibe. If we're talking about vampires, by the way, I also want to read Dracula. You might think, why? Well, it fits naturally the seasons. Also, I subscribed to the Dracula Daily in like springtime. I don't know, like maybe you did too, but it's kind of, because it's a diary setting, the whole book. What this business company organization does is like they send you the pieces of the diary on the day it is set, which is fine. That's great. There's just one thing. You do need to open them and read them. I'll give you an insight into my email right now. Alright, you can see it right here. Unopened, 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 unopened. Honestly, the last one I opened was May 24th. So yeah, those are the ones that I want to read for Dracula, because it's now just filling up my inbox. So we're talking like 4.5 months of catching up to do on reading. So yeah, I just really want to like read the book. I think at this point it's almost finished, the story. Don't hold me accountable to that. But yeah, very like, I just really enjoy it, and I did enjoy the first 2 pages. It just got really busy. I didn't open them. I was like, I'll do it next week, and then next week turned into next month, and next month turned into after summer, and now we're in August. Now we're in October. Anyways, 2 vampires books that I want to read this year. Another one that I want to read is Sirens and Muses by Antonia Angress. I think that's how you say her name. This is more about like, I feel like this is very more dark academia. It's about 4 students, art students, who are living together, and I think let me see, are drawn into a web of rivalry and desire an elite art school and on the streets of New York in this gripping, provocative, and supremely entertaining debut. It does sound very interesting, more like dark academia vibes. I don't know when I came across it. I think someone on Instagram mentioned it, so I'm very interested. And I think that's kind of it. I am like, it's not all the books, maybe I'll read more than this, but I'm kind of gonna like leave those options open because knowing myself, I'll probably read a romance novel or a fantasy novel that I've seen somewhere, or I need to justify to myself to buy another book, and I'm like, I'll read it right away. So I'll be honest, except for one day, all the others, like, I'm not gonna try not to buy any more books, and I just really want to focus on reading because I've bought a lot of books and I have not been reading as much as I've been buying. So no more books except for one day, because then I'm gonna go to a really great bookstore that I normally don't really get to go to. So then I will be buying 2 books, she says. I'll keep you updated when I'm there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the little autumn walk, autumn vibes, and my reading list for, I think it will mainly be autumn, that I'm gonna read these books, although it's a bit late into the game for a lot of you. I hope some of you will still have some tips for books here. If you do have other books that you think like you should totally read, this is amazing, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It does really help out with the algorithm, and you're gonna be part of this little family. So until then, until next week, where I'll have a new video up. Thank you so much for watching, and then okay, yeah guys, again next week. Happy reading.